guys. Let's get this right camera in here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to Trade Skills. This is part of the Path to Polymath series where I go from zero knowledge to somewhat proficient in a skill. When I get to a good point, I'm going to interview a master of that skill and then move on to the next. So here we are. I'm not sure how many episodes we've been doing of this. If you hear some stuff in the background, that's my little dude. He's like, I don't know, 6 feet away from me, so I gotta keep an eye on him. He's little, but either way, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm gonna finish up on my good old my little Alien-Cowboy thing. I've noticed an issue though, and I didn't at the time. Like, there's lots of issues. For one, I am brand new at carving, at least free carving. So like going from just a general idea and just start carving. I'm usually like plan it out, map it out, you know, that kind of situation. That's where cardinals and things like that come into play. I don't know if you guys can see that, but those are done with somewhat of a template. So you kind of sketch it on there and then you carve out what you don't need. There's other techniques in there, and we'll be utilizing some of those here. But as far as this cowboy alien, he's still very rough. I've been working on him a couple episodes. Hey, thanks guys for tuning in. So yeah, we're gonna get back into it, back into the Alien-Cowboy. But one of the issues I've noticed is that the size of his head and the top of his hat, not, you know, that's no bueno, you know. You want this top to be bigger, obviously, because that's where his head's gonna be. It could be that he's wearing a hat that doesn't belong to him and it's way too, I don't know. Either way, I got to carve that hat down some more too. It's still kind of like almost like a blank slate. Turn the volume down on this. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're getting into. So I'm gonna go ahead, get some stropping compound on this bad boy so I can sharpen these blades up, or hone the blades, strop the blades as they say. So I have a very, very slight angle. I'm gonna put this to where you guys can actually see it. Yeah, there we go. So if you guys are on purple or red platform, welcome in, welcome in. And if you guys are on this platform right here, not you guys, but you guys, welcome in as well. I'm carving a cowboy alien. Still very, very new to TikTok. Thank you for tuning in. Obviously you can tell from my profile if you go check it out. Don't have a lot of posts in there because I was still kind of getting a grasp on it. And as far as like going live, I didn't even know that was a thing I could do. I mean, when I created the profile, live was not really too much of a thing. I think you had to have 1,000 followers, which I do not have, obviously. I hear you, little man. What are you doing? I know, I hear you. We're gonna see how long this episode can go. It all depends on his mood, you know? He's sitting in his high chair and he's got lots of little toys and binkies and things like that. But we'll see. We'll see if he's cool to hang, and if not, we'll end it up short. All right, let's give it the test. Not so bad. Not so bad. All right, cool. I dig it. All right, so that blade's good to go. We're gonna put on the proper gear, which is our anti-cut, anti-slice gloves. You can buy these at Walmart, but there's also places on Amazon, and I'm sure plenty of places on TikTok you can get them. I wouldn't, if you buy one of the kits on TikTok or on Amazon, I would not use the gloves that they have. I guess it's good for a little while, but you still can cut through them pretty easily. These, for example, I got at Walmart, super cheap. So, and they are like cut proof. So they've got like Kevlar line, they've got nice grippies here for any kind of grabbing, you know, if I need to really crank down on this. Also, there is some self-adhesive gauze bandage, which is really nice as well. You'll see a lot of people put that around their fingers as like an added little bit. I put it in when I was using like the less effective gloves. I was putting them on my fingers just in case. And you'll see some people who like raw dog it with no gloves, and they'll just have some of these on, which I mean, it works as well. I'm not comfortable enough in my carving to do that yet, so we will see. But just putting that on there, I can already tell the dexterity of this has already gone down a bit. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. So one of the things I'm gonna do, and I have came up with it overnight. I'm gonna go around his head here. I'm gonna add a little bandana, because you know what kind of bandita cowboy kind of situation does not have a bandana. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that nice and marked up on his neck. I'm going to take off some material to kind of have it poke out a bit. Make sure you guys can see that okay. So I'm doing what is called, I did a stop cut into a V cut is what the technique's called. Because I want to create a little space in between. Am I a master at this? No. Not yet. Will I ever be? I don't think that's really the goal. I don't think that's really the goal. I think I just want to enjoy myself. And I'm already at that point. I also want to be proficient enough to just grab a blade and carve something. Am I at that point yet? No. I suppose that's the next milestone. Is that right, bud? So I'm gonna go a little bit deeper in here, and we're gonna cut down into it, just to kind of create that depth. And then I'll shape the head accordingly to allow that to kind of really shine. If I had originally planned to do a bandana, I probably would have left a little more material on the back to have like the tie of the bandana there, but I was looking over some like source material for cowboys and stuff, and I was like, you know what? There is a common thing, and it's a bandana. So I'm gonna do an angled cut here. Do another one down this way. Buddy, you are excited. Connect that well. Buddy is excited. If the kid in the background is annoying you, I apologize. He's not annoying me because he's my kid. But some people might not want to hear all that. Tony's up, what's going on? Herbie, Big Country, what's going on? 226. I'm originally from a 229. Okay, I'm trying to create a little little space with this bandana here. It's kind of working. Probably go in with like a V cut like this and try to clean that up a bit. Bellissimo. It looks a little raw right now, but it'll get there. It'll get there. All right, now that I've got this cut on this side, I'm gonna very carefully come in here and he's blowing raspberries. If you guys have kids, you know. If you know, you know. That is a developmental thing, so they'll do that. All right, there's our bandana. I'm gonna put like just a little extra little wrinkle in there. One under there. It's all stuff that we can kind of clean up later. And I'm gonna try to take some material off to really make that bandana really pop out. So I don't want to take too much off around here. I do want that belly to poke out, but I also want to have a bandana, so it's tricky, you know. You don't want to take too much material off. So they say 10,000 hours, right, to learn any kind of skill. That's kind of like the normal area of thought, or the general idea is like to become a master at any skill, 10,000 hours. The more I keep looking at it though, especially at the origin of that 10,000 hours, it was really kind of only applicable to the upper echelon masters of that craft. So if you just want to become decently proficient, I mean, there's even a guy I follow who, he's on the notion that like 20 hours of like focused learning and practice, and you can become somewhat decent at it. And, you know, he displayed that with languages. I think he was playing the ukulele with 20 hours, and on his 20th hour, on his learning in that process, he played on a TED Talk. So he was talking about the 20-hour situation, and he was like, all right, guys, I'm gonna play you a song. And he you know, was kind of showing off the idea of the 20-80 rule. So like in learning anything, even so like languages, for example, like of the spoken vernacular that a person has, they're only actually using 20% of their vernacular on a daily basis of their actual words, their known words. They're only using about 20% of it. So the 20-80 rule is a way that a lot of meta learners will go and find what's the most useful thing, what's pulling most of the weight, and then they learn those things. So he did that with ukulele and said, okay, most songs, a vast majority of them use these chords. So I just need to get really proficient at these chords and chord progression and learning how to move from chord to chord, and I can get down most songs. And that's what he did. So normally I go live on Mondays at 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, US. But recently I've tried to put a little more time in TikTok and some times outside of that. Try not to be so tight on that schedule. I'm putting too much of an angle on these, and it's causing me to take off too much wood. So as far as what would be the 2080 with wood carving, I'm still learning that, to be honest. I'm still super new at this. I'd say getting the cuts down. So learning the, this is the pull cut, where to put your finger, or the pairing cut, as some people kind of call it. You're using your thumb as an anchor out of the way, of course, and then you basically have your blade locked into these fingers and you're just closing. So you're not going to cut yourself, you're just closing your grip. So it puts you in a situation to not really like cut yourself. So that's the pairing cut or the pull cut. There's a push cut as well, where you have the blade going this way and you are using your thumb to press the blade. So it takes a lot of the pressure off your wrist, or using your fingers to push, and you're just using your thumb to kind of guide it. It's really good for kind of precise cuts as well. So that is one of my favorite cuts. And then kind of just learning the grain, which, I mean, it varies from wood to wood. It varies different species, even from this block to this block can change, you know. So being able to look at the wood and say, okay, the grain is going this way, listening to the wood. So if you hear it kind of cracking as you're putting your blade in, you're probably having too severe of an angle and you probably need to dial it back. So some people will, if they're doing a cut this way and they notice it starts like there, it starts to, you can't hear it, but I can hear it. They'll come back and do a very soft angle, go in the opposite direction to avoid taking off too much material. I know, bud. We're trying to avoid like giving him too much screen time. I really just don't want him to be like a brain rotted like little zombie. Like I wait on a lot of kids at the restaurant I work at. You'll see the whole family on their phones. I mean, I know tis the season, or not, it's not quite the right phrase, but it's kind of the day. It's kind of the world we live in currently. But I'll see the kids with headphones in their iPad. I'll see the parents with their headphones, or not their headphones. I'll see the parents on their phones. So you got like, you know, two kids, they're engrossed in their iPads. They've got headphones in. They're just completely removed from the world. And then the parents are on their phones as well. The parents just, I'm assuming they originally did it just so they can have a little peace. You know, they're used to having more freedom to do the things that they need to do, whether that's stuff for work or just, they're used to their free time. And they want peace, so they give their kid iPad. Their kids get attached to the iPads and lose their shit when they take it away from them. So it's a delicate balance for sure. So we're trying to avoid giving our little one too much screen time. So we give them a lot of like just natural kind of toys to play with. I mean, we will turn on things from time to time, but it's really regulated. We're really mindful of it. Trying to be better about being on our phones around him. It's kind of hypocritical, but I was on my phone a good bit today, and I feel some kind of way about it. I know, bud. Anyways, we're getting in. The bandana's not looking too bad. Take some material off this. squealer, little squeaker. He's freaking adorable right now. He's got his little, it's not quite a bandana. It's technically a burp cloth, but they're shaped like little V's, little triangles or whatever. And because I was giving him some watermelon earlier, and he was just like, I mean, he makes a huge mess with that food. Like strawberries is what he had yesterday, and after he's eaten the strawberries out of it, he'll take it and just start slamming it down on the table, and there's like splatters of strawberry everywhere. So it takes a bit to kind of clean them up. But he's got his on today from the watermelon. Thank goodness watermelon's not as staining, or I don't know. It's an easier fruit to kind of work with. Is that right? He's working the vocal cords, that's for sure. He likes those little clicking noises. Alright, so this is where we're at so far. He's got him a little bandana. I still have to like shape up his head a lot. I want it to be a good bit more rounder. You good, bud? Where's all your toys at? Get rid of all your toys. You threw them on the ground. It's not my dad, that's a cell phone. Take off some of this angle of this face. It's still kind of jagged. I just don't want to take off too much material. The grain on this particular one, if I put any kind of angle on this blade as it goes in, it kind of follows a grain and goes deeper and ends up pulling off chunks when I actually don't want it to. Oh, you hear that, guys? I have to give him some toys real quick. 1 second. Shaky bit here. There's this book. It's called I Love You Every Day. It's got a little puff in it. Like that. Push that little puff through. Cool. Where did you toss your binkies? You want binky? Let's pop this one. There you go, child. Back to that. Have to round his little body up. This is a cowboy alien. That's where he's at currently. Have to kind of, like I said, round his face off a bit. He's got some pretty harsh angles, but I'm not really trying to. Ooh, that's too much material. Grain on this side is atrocious. Let's try this blade a bit. See if it's like a little detailing blade, as they call it. So you can get in and do some really fine work. It's a smaller blade. Some people will, ooh, what was that? Is that your little book? Try to round his face off just a bit. I'm doing just the slightest little angle. Even that, man, that just took off a chunk. That drives me crazy. I'm basically like barely glancing over the edge, just a small amount. I'm trying to avoid using my Dremel over here. I'm trying to basically scrape it, very slight edge. And even still, it's trying to chunk. There's almost no edge on that. Dude, really? Let's see if I got a little screwdriver over here. Time for some crazy hair. There might be a screwdriver in here. Negatory. Let me go grab one out of my bag. Sure you're plugged in? I don't think you are actually. Well, shit. Cool. Love it. Let's see. Got to get a screwdriver to tighten up this. The head of this Dremel. You will do, and you will do. It's going out. Crazy. All right, let's see if this helps any. dust. Love it. Actually, probably use this as a good time to go ahead and work on the top of this. Smells great. Fuck. Fucking breathing in dust, man. It's much more dense up here. Smells great. It's like popcorn and I don't know. Grit on you? Not much. We'll swap you out. Yeah, bud. So the first time I used this Dremel, I wasn't super familiar with Dremels. I mean, I was familiar with the concept. Is that right, bud? Yeah, not left on that. I was familiar with the concept of a Dremel, and I knew how to draw and things like that, but as far as like the mechanics of it, like I know it spun and all that, but as far as like, I was like, man, why is my sandpaper just like fucking flying off? I didn't realize that you have to tighten here. I tightened here, and that, you know, the chuck keeps that there, but keeping the sandpaper on, I was like, how the hell do you do that? Do people use like adhesive or something? Apparently if you twist this, it causes this to expand, so it'll hold it on there. I'm wearing my Chonburi Muay Thai shirt. If you guys have been to Nashville, it's like just an awesome Muay Thai school. We should get you some real goggles. These, look, these are great, you know? I love these. take some material off here. I really want it to thin out a good bit here. It's just dangerous to work around this area because you could easily snap something off putting too much pressure in. It's like a thinner area. Buddy, where'd all your toys go? Where'd all them toys go? What'd you do with all them toys? He said, I threw them on the ground. Is that right? This point needs to be sharpened a bit. What you got over here? You got elephant snake. Cute. Put him here. You got a book, being as booky as it wants to be. Shaky. Some binkies. All right. We're back. I was thinking once, as part of this, like, what are you doing? Part of this like Path to Polymath series where I, learn new skills or fine-tune other skills. I was thinking of maybe like live streaming my like Muay Thai when I get back into it, because I've got bags, I've got like I can't really do the Muay Thai here because it's shit. Because it's kind of just a little bit out of my price range. The one in Nashville was not bad, but I have to prioritize the money right now. But this was Chonburi Muay Thai. Check them out if you're in Nashville or if you're stopping by. It's a great school, but I kind of already have all of my stuff, and I've got a bag outside. I can at least do like shadow boxing, and I can do drills. I can do a lot of that. I've got, got my wraps. Okay, this is to keep my gloves from stinking. They're like deodorizers. You get a lot of sweat in there, man. You put in a lot of work. Got my wrist wraps. I got my gloves. Got my shin guards, which you're not really going to need them on a bag. It's mostly for sparring, but it's like my wraps. Got like some ankle guards in there. For a while there I was having like, just my ankle was just bothering me like crazy. So I had those. Kind of looks like Sagat from Street Fighter. Why I wouldn't get with yellow and black? I don't know, I just vibe with it. I already like yellow, so, and these are 16-ounce gloves. But I already like yellow, and my shin guards, same kind of situation, Vortex. But yeah, I was thinking about going on the stream maybe someday, and or like with you guys, and just, he looks good, babe. Oh, it looks good. Oh, the alien, yeah, he's getting there. Thank you. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, so I'm thinking about going on maybe a day, putting a little man in a high chair out there, give him something to play with. Maybe he'll like watching Poppy struggle and breathe hard and like suck and be rusty. maybe that'll be the thing. But yeah, going out there and getting on the bags and just kind of working through some drills with you guys, and we'll see how the progress goes. We'll see. It'll be me sucking at first, and then working through some drills and getting better here and there. Right now it's too hot. It's in my garage where like most of my gear is, besides like gloves and shin guards. And I don't want to have my little dude out there. It's too damn hot. It's sweltering. I think most of the world is crazy hot right now. So yeah, that's something that's on the agenda. Just figured I'd share it with you guys real quick. Just knocking over my light. Wicked smile. So that's something that I'm working on. I'm thinking piano, you know, come back and can't really do it with these gloves on, but anyways, you get the idea. Yeah, maybe work on piano or get my guitar from Nashville and maybe try to actually learn how to play a guitar instead of just like owning one. I use the Dremel to kind of give them like somewhat pulled in cheeks. I still want to take a lot of this material off of his hat. desktop over here, man. It'd be covered with sawdust. All right, slowly but surely, he's kind of getting there. What I might have to do, we're gonna try this out. It might mess it up. All right, let's try to doodle these eyes back on here. Nice clean surface. Let's work that sawdust out. Get rid of this glove so I can be a little more precise. All right, center of the face. It's here. Mouth. Bottom of the eyes. So we're going to do that. What do you think? Looks nice and gray. Cool. So I'm gonna get in here with this one and try to ever so carefully. Actually, I wonder if there's a blade that I have that's a bit more scalpel-like. I think that should do it. So let's put some compound on here. Let's get this blade out of here before I scratch the shit out of myself. You slam it, buddy. Alright, looks like there's not. So where this one has an edge on both sides, you can kind of see that edge there, edge over here, edge over here. This one is not like that. This one has an edge. Excuse me, sawdust. This one has an edge just on one of the sides. So I wonder if that will allow me to do the job. I'm gonna come in here and try to really easily same thing on the other side. Hard to tell, but I went in there and just balanced it out a bit. I think I have a flat blade over here somewhere. It's not our guy. You're not that guy. There you are. You are. So you guys can kind of see. See if I can do this without really messing it up. Nope. That one did not do it right. So I know, bud. I'm trying to take off just a slight amount of material around the eyes, just to kind of get them to pop. Do the same over here. I have to do it in parts. The difficult thing is like right up on the hat. Is that right, buddy? All right, that eye's popped just a bit. Now move on to that one. I feel like because I didn't do things symmetrically that I do have a little more room to kind of get in here and get under these eyes to really make them pop. Just don't have a lot of space to grab. Where's all your stuff? Is that right, bud? She's probably watching, buddy. Hat off. It's still very square, and I feel like back here I need to round that bad boy off. I just don't want to take off too much material and rip a whole side off, which is a fear, a worry, a concern. I'm still going to be thinning this hat out a bit too. There's a lot of material there, so there's a lot of room to thin it out. Is that right? What are you doing? What are you doing? He's getting that one side, you can tell it's gotten a little rounder, so I need to do the same with this side, just by like kind of taking edges off. Oh yeah? He's like, I want my toys, buddy. I'm coming. Covered in dust. Elephant. Put him here. Yeah. I'm gonna put the pinky here. I'm gonna put the kisses right here. Back. Sorry for that delay. He got his little toys, he got some kisses. So I'm still trying to round out the back of it, but cowboy hat's kind of taking shape. We want more material to come off here. Only thing is this, that's why I sanded that down, because this part of the wood is so dense. A little better. Oh yeah. Just a lot of material that has to be taken off right here. And this is like top grain. So for me, it's just like really dense wood, really dense part of the wood. Instead of all the fibers going kind of like in this direction, I'm carving at the top when they're all like that. So it makes it much more dense and a little harder to work with. I'm sure there's a trick to it somewhere that I just don't know. Or maybe the masters will say, no, it just takes time. It's just elbow grease. Just make sure you have sharp blades. And too. Yes, it is. And the more I do this kind of carving, you know, with the top grain, the more I need to go in and kind of re-up on my sharpness. And to sharpen these, you basically start on one edge because it is rounded, you know. You start on one edge and then you, as you pull it down, you turn it, trying to maintain the same angle. Too. Ooh, in the lap. Could have been bad. Where you at, buddy? There you are. Cool. All right, let's try to take some more off this hat without just ripping the whole side of the hat off. Where's all your toys at? Is that funny to you? Look, yeah, that little clicking noise. Slowly getting there. I need to take some of this material off too, in front of this hat, because there's always like a slope down on the front, you know, of a cowboy hat. Buddy. I'm getting ready to end it up, buddy, and then we hang out. All right, we're getting there. Slowly adding some angle to the front of that. Still a lot of material here, so it'll just take me a bit to kind of get it all worked out. He's got his little bandana, got his face kind of forming up. He's gonna be cute, but either way, guys, this was, you know, an hour-long episode, just kind of me coming in, working on the same project. Kind of wanted to see you guys. Thank you for tuning in with me, hanging out while I wood carved and worked on my Polymath series. Like I said, I'm working on a new skill for part of the series. So I'm doing woodworking and whittling right now, and then I'm going to go stained glass, I can go pottery or ceramics or sculpting, mosaics, knitting. That's kind of the goal. I go from zero knowledge to somewhat proficient, and then when I've reached a certain level of proficiency, I'm going to have somebody on to interview that is extremely proficient at that. And then once that is done, how come it read? Okay. Anyways, once that's done, I move on to the next skill and go from zero knowledge to proficient at that. So that is the goal. That is what I'm working on. If you hear a little man in the background, that is my son. He's like 6 feet away from me. He has toys and stuff to play with, but he's in a high chair and he gets stir crazy and he wants to be bounced and played with. I get it. I get it. So I'm getting ready to end it for the night, for the day, I suppose. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope y'all have a great day, and I will see you guys on the next stream. If you want to kind of check out more than what I do, you can go to YouTube, type in Trade Skills Podcast after you get done with this stream, and you can check it out there. Or I suppose I should say go to the red platform, type in Trade Skills Podcast, and you'll find me. We've interviewed some amazing people. If you guys are on purple, thanks for tuning in and being awesome. You guys on blue as well. Like I said, I hope you guys have a great night. And ciao. Peace, guys.